Hey guys, Tony here from Tony's Tips. I'm just going to give you guys some stuff to do in the morning. This is part of my morning regimen. It's not everything I do. Actually, I'll include a link to Elliot Bioenergetics warm-up, which you can check out. And I would actually recommend that you do that before you do this. So these are the 8 great static stretches. I actually got this routine from a PDF that I received when I bought the Assessing and Correcting Posture Manual, which I believe was part of Mike Robertson's training. I think Eric Cressney and some of those other guys contributed to. There were 3 people. I can't remember exactly who all contributed to it, but this is the beginning of that. So just hit that. So this is just the one-arm doorway stretch, and a lot of people have already seen this before. You're just focusing on stretching the pec here, opening up the chest, and something that I like to do when I lean forward, I will actually breathe out of an open mouth. So I open my jaw until it's almost uncomfortable and just breathe out, focusing on relaxing the pelvic floor, breathing deep, and trying to relax the muscle as well. So I'm stretching the muscle, and relaxing the body, feeling the pull there through the shoulders. So that's the first one. Alright, so this is a tricep stretch. So thinking about exposing the armpit as the elbow comes up higher, getting as deep into it as possible, leaning into the wall. So this stretch is the wrist flexor stretch here. So we're stretching the wrist as well as all the tendons and ligaments and things like that are in here. Usually people have issues with carpal tunnel and things like that. This is a great stretch just to get those flexors to relax a little bit, still breathing deep, feeling the stretch and seeing if we can get how far we can pull the fingers back, how much we can feel the stretch up in there. A lot of people, if they jump rope a lot, will start to feel tension in there too. So this stretch is the kneeling heel to butt stretch. So all you're doing is you're pulling your heel to your butt. I actually am working on opening up my hip. I'm trying to put my hip down and into the wall. I have really tight hips, so this is a good one for me. So this is the wide, I guess like wide hips, open wide, rock back, sit stretch. That's just what I'm going to call it. But actually with this one, what's really nice at Gorilla CrossFit, we have ab mats. So you put an ab mat under each knee, and then you push the knees out as you sit back. So this is really to open up the hips as we rock the butt back into the stretch. But it's really nice when you have things that will move on your knees so that you can get even wider as you push back down into the stretch. This is just to open up the hips. Again though, pressing back and opening up the hips. Alright, so this one is the knee to knee stretch. Ladies generally don't need to do this because they already have the ability, I guess. With guys, this would probably be a good one just to stretch. You have to be really careful with this, especially if you've had knee issues before. But this is a good stretch. Opening getting as wide as possible with the feet, and then pushing the knees in, trying to make the knees touch. And you'll feel a lot of tension there in the knee. The outside of my legs, my abductors are starting to seize up already. So this is the seated 90-90 stretch, that's what I call it, or the piriformis stretch, or the pigeon stretch, or whatever you want to call it. You can do it like this with both feet at 90, and drop the chest into the shin as you breathe out deep through an open mouth. Or if you want it to be more in the butt, because this is along my abductors here, but it's not quite where it needs to be on me because my butt is very tight. You should get your knee up and underneath you as much as possible, and then sit down and into the stretch. So I really can't even, I would have to pull my foot back a little bit just to get down and into the stretch. but you can definitely feel that right along there, right where the femur inserts into the acetabulum, or the leg inserts into the hip. Alright, so this is the three-way hamstring stretch. Some of the ways that we do this at the Personal Training Institute is that we use the PNF style of stretching, which I believe stands for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation or something like that. So what you do is you start the stretch, and right when the body stops letting you stretch so far, you try to relax the muscle as much as possible. Then, usually you do this with a partner. The partner would be holding up your leg. Then you push back into that person. If you're the person being stretched, you push back into them for 10 to 30 seconds, and then they get you even deeper into the stretch. So we can do this on our own too, but basically it starts with pulling the leg to you. So I'm starting to feel a stretch there in my hamstrings. My knees aren't necessarily locked out, but I'm getting a good stretch here. Right when I start to feel tension, then I push back and into the towel. So I'm actually putting a lot of tension into the towel right now, and I'm activating my muscles so that way when I pull back on the stretch, I can come back further now. And after I hold for about 30 seconds and I get about everything that I can out of it, then I push back in again. Now, this is the three-way stretch, so as well as stretching the hamstrings, I can also go out and feel a little bit of a stretch in the groin, trying to keep this part of my body straight up and down, and then pulling the toes up towards my head. That'll start to open up my groin here. And after, same thing with that, I can push back into it. When I put force back into it, it's going to relax those stretch receptors, the Golgi tendon organs and the muscle spindle fibers, so that it will allow the muscle to go even deeper into the stretch. Then, the third direction that you can go is over and across, stretching everything through here, and pulling the foot up towards the head again. Really opening the body up and breathing deep. And of course you can do the PNF stretching here as well. So again, that's not my original idea. Those 8 great static stretches were something that came out of the Assessing and Correcting Posture manual that I bought. I know Mike Robertson was in there. I think Eric Cressany also had a part, and I know there were 3 people, but I can't come up with a third name for some reason. Maybe I'll leave a link to it or something like that. But I'm also going to leave you a link to Elliot Hulse's Bioenergetic warm-up, and I'm also going to do a video here pretty soon about rubbing out sore muscles as well, with using the lacrosse ball and doing some more morning stuff that I usually do. So thank you for watching, and if you can, and if you'd like to, like my Facebook channel, www.facebook.com/Tony'sFitnessTips. I also have a YouTube channel like that, and I also have Twitter now, @TonyDavidMoore. So thank you for watching my videos. Please stay tuned for more.